Alright guys, we are doing much better the second time around. I have 3 out of 4 broccoli back there. At least one more in that one. I actually have some arugula starting to come up this time. Yay! I have some more spinach coming up. Over here we don't have anything going on. This is tomatoes and peppers, so that is definitely going to take a little bit longer. But down here, I have 2 sunflowers up already. I have 2 pole beans up, and we have a whole bunch of zinnias. Still have 1 sunflower seed over there that hasn't popped, and then these are the sweet peppers, which again, I don't expect them to germinate that fast. But how exciting is this? Come on. Oh, I love it. Yay. Here's our other veggies from round 1. Starting to get some size on them now. It makes me very happy. We only ended up with, I think, 2 of these spinach. But we got 3 of the black-seeded Simpson lettuce, a couple of the blend, and a couple of the salad bowl. Alright, so we have a little seedling update. This is basically from our first round, the lettuce that is ready to be up-potted now and getting gangly. There's a couple of spinach in there, only survivors from the first round. Then we have our onions coming up. 1 batch. The other one did not come up at all for whatever reason. And these came up almost 100%. We have our peas coming up and getting a little tall and crazy. We also have our pole beans up and getting a little tall and crazy. And I gotta get this out of here before it gets too settled in, and I can't. Get some sunflowers. 1 didn't germinate, so I just stuck another seed in it. We have some zinnias. And then we have our sweet peppers over here looking really good. Over here we have our tomatoes and our pepperoncini. And then we have our arugula and our broccoli looking great back there finally. Second round, a little more spinach, second round. This is our first round of our tomatoes. We have our Homestead, our Roma, some rainbow ones I've never tried before that looked cool. And that's 2 of each of those. So I just did 1 tray of pepperoncini, and so far I only have 1. I'll probably plant some more of those. And then these are the red bell peppers. Yeah, so all in all, our seedlings are looking great. So as you can see, it's time to get some of these out of here. This one in particular, my little peas over here are getting very intertwined, and that's not going to be easy. These are, again, the colder weather ones, so they should be good to go into bigger pots, into the greenhouse, and then pretty soon after that, hopefully outside. This lettuce is definitely way too crazy for these pots. Spinach is still tiny. Sunflowers are still doing alright over there, and the zinnias are looking great. The peppers are also doing great. Those are all good for now, but yeah, these pole beans. So yeah, we're gonna do a little up potting today. So I am back in the dining room today with my dirt and my pots and my stuff. We're gonna do some up potting on some of the seedlings from the grow tent. Some of them are very ready, like some of this lettuce, and some of them not so much. These in particular, like these pole beans, would be fine in this pot for a while, but they are looking for things to grab onto at this point. And as a matter of fact, plant number 2 in here is growing up plant number 1, so those will probably just stay together at this point. So some of these things, once they get too wrapped up, you really can't move them, so for that reason alone, they need to be up potted and put where they're going to go. So I got to figure that out yet. Same with my peas. I actually broke a couple of the tendrils just moving this out of the trellis from the grow tent because it was already starting to, climb up and look for anchors. So that means it's time to get where it's going to go. But it's fine because it's, we're a couple of days away from May 1st, and this is broccoli and spinach and peas and lettuce and beans, and they like the colder weather. I tend to forget that. I tend to always just stay in the mindset where, oh, it has to be warm enough to put them out there, but they like the cold weather. They're not going to be happy if I put them out when it's warm. So I need to get them up potted and out into the greenhouse, since that's kind of halfway between the nice little grow tent they grew up in and the cold, harsh outdoor that they're going to live the rest of their life in. So they will harden off inside the greenhouse for a while, and then once they start to do really well in there, they'll get moved outside. So let's get some soil mixed up. Let's do it. Some soil. Try to get it in the container instead of everywhere else. I'll do it. This is such beautiful soil, although I have found some really big sticks in this, which was a little surprising to me. I've also had some issues with fungus gnats, which I've never had in my grow tents, and I've pretty much just been using this soil from this place for a while now, and so I feel like every time I put new plants with the soil, I end up with fungus gnats. I'm guessing that there are some in here, and I should put some hydrogen peroxide over this soil, and I think I will actually do that before I put new plants in them, just to kill that off. Yeah, so that may be next. And then I'll amend it. I think I'm going to do that. Trying not to let these ends get completely beat up before I have a chance to get them in a new pot, but it is difficult. They are fragile. All right. So we're gonna try this again. Our pole bean. And again, it would have been fine in here for a while, but it's got some pretty nice roots developed down there. Now they're all wrapped up together. I'm not gonna move it until I'm done. Let's get some soil on you. Oh, no, not quite that much. Fix it, not break it. I'm also trying to avoid getting soil on the floor, but So I like to use these in the beginning. They're basically just like the marshmallow roasting sticks that you can get at the supermarket. They are wood. They are eventually going to rot, but by the time that happens, they will be either trellising up a permanent thing, or they will get a bamboo rod, which is a lot bigger, but they're too big for our purposes now. So I almost always start with these. I just have to figure out what's the best way to support this beautiful lady. I think we're going to try that. All right, and so then we can do a little bit of that. Ah! Or not. Okay, maybe we go the other way. All right, so I'm going to get some wax tape and give this girl a little bit of support. So I really like this floral tape, florist tape, whatever. I don't even know what it's called, but it's usually the stuff that florists use to make arrangements and whatnot. But it's just a wax tape. It's very gentle on the plants. It holds up in the weather. And you can put it on and basically just kind of twist it up. Usually it will stay together. I will often do one tie and then a twist. And I usually do that before I cut it this short, so I'm not sure why I did that this time around. But anyways, I'm just going to twist. You can kind of just scrunch it so you can take them off and you can move them. This one is good. Put you over there. Okay. Go this way. And we can kind of just help you out a little bit here. And the nice thing is, generally the pole beans will stay, because that's where they want to be anyways. But I might give one little support at the bottom just to make sure the fan doesn't get a chance to blow it off before it has a chance to become established. All right, pole beam number 1 down. Beautiful. I know we do, your sister. I think anything that bears fruit is girl. They're all girls. So, yeah, I am not going to try and untangle these two at this point. You are now officially Siamese twins. They don't seem to mind, so hopefully it will stay that way. So that push down. I can let go of these a little bit. All right. They were going through here. I'm gonna go right in the middle. And we're just gonna bring you up. It's got a few bends from where it was already wrapped on the trellis. Now look at this thing. This is basically already almost at the top, so I'm saying it won't be in there very long. All right, pole beans and peas are done. Yay. All right, before we move on, let me sweep up this dirt before I track it all over the house. Okay. So now let's do some of these beautiful lettuce plants. Now the lettuce, I normally like to do in like the long window box flower boxes. I can just do different types and they fit well on the shelf in the greenhouse, but they're all outside, and I haven't fixed or cleaned any of them yet. I have all my pots from last year, and I'm going to dump out the soil that's in them. I'll probably, clean off the top part, put that in the compost, dump out the soil that's left, give the pots a good rinse, amend all that soil. I want to mix some good soil in with last year's soil, but mostly I just want to mix the compost in that I've been working on since last year. So I'm going to use that to amend all of my outdoor pots. It's going to be kind of a big project though, and the weather has not been cooperating. As you can see, it's not too bad today, but it's been raining most of today. It is kind of chilly. It just hasn't been very conducive to me spending an entire day out in the yard. So that was a long way of telling you I don't have those pots ready yet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the lettuce into these, and we're going to just try something new this year, and we'll see how it goes. Because I do think that the broccoli and the spinach are small enough still to go in these. So that's what I think we're going to do. But they do need to be potted a little deeper because they've gotten very leggy. I moved them from one tent where they were closer to the light to a bigger tent where the light is brighter, so by design it's a lot farther away. I thought it would kind of even out, but they've definitely done a lot of stretching. So that's another reason I'm ready to get them into a new pot. So as you can see, we'll start to have a little more vigor and start to look a little more like a healthy lettuce plant. Now I expect a lot of these leaves here are going to wilt and die. That's fine as long as the roots are healthy and the plant is happy and it starts putting out new leaves, which if it works, it should do pretty quickly. So there, now we have a little bit of support. Again, it looks pretty sad now, but if this goes well, it should fill back out. Next, two, not quite as sad as the other one. All right, the next one is going to be tricky because there are a lot of plants in this one cell. So I need to break these up, possibly. And this is our black Simpson. And I did not keep track of what that one was. I think that's the Simpson also. That's a mystery one now. That one's the blend. These are all black Simpson, so we'll know that much. All right, so we have our next batch of soil all mixed up. Let's see if we can get some of these apart. Normally, you know, you would thin or separate sooner than this. But, you know, sometimes life just happens and you just deal with it. Today's one of those days, whoopsie. And we're just gonna gently, that's nice. Okay, you're little, so you're gonna go in here. That wasn't quite so gentle. All right, so there's only 3 of them. That's not so bad. I think I can get these 2 apart. The tops may be the hardest part. Because again, I don't want to rip them. And they tend to get very grabby when they're wilty. It's like they've woven themselves together. Okay, whew. You also don't really want your lettuce leaves sitting in the dirt, so I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna get you in here. Over there. Whew. Again, that should look a lot better in a couple of days. But they weren't gonna do too well as they were very much longer anyways. Okay. Not too bad. We have some lettuce. We'll just keep calling you lettuce blend. What do we got left? We have broccoli and spinach. Broccoli, so adorable. And again, I mean, these are still really small, but they're getting leggy. They're not super happy, so we're gonna try and make them happier. These 2 spinach, on the other hand, look very happy. Aren't they adorable? I don't even know if I should take them out of there yet. We'll see. I don't want to wait till they're unhappy, but yeah. All right, last ones. My cute little spinach. I think these are the only survivors from round 1. And I've got these 2 I found outside that are perfect size. So we're gonna get these in, and then we're gonna get everybody marked, and then back down under the light. And then once they kind of look like they've recovered from the transplant, out into the greenhouse they will go. All right, so let's separate these 2 beauties, hopefully without destroying them. Okay, you stay there for a minute. You come with me. You happy with that now? Doop. And number 2. So I know that these were my long-standing spinach. And I know that these are my Sun King broccoli. Those are my hybrid. I know my seeded Simpson. I know most of this is. A couple of the things could be a surprise. There we go. That is everybody up potted. Oh, here comes the family. Well, I guess we're done filming for today. So the up potting is done. I think everyone's looking pretty happy. I really want to just go put them in the greenhouse, but I mean, some of these girls, especially over here, they're just so tiny, and I haven't hardened them off at all. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna be a good doobie, and I'm gonna give them a couple hours out here, bring them back in. Actually, I'll probably give them half hour today. Bring them in, and then I'll bring them out tomorrow for an hour, and the next day for 2 hours, and a couple of weeks I will get them out into the greenhouse. I just don't want to do all this work and then immediately like freeze them and kill them. So we're gonna give them a little bit of time to adjust. Next step done. Shrek.